2010 was a year for the ages, pounding visitors to Blacksburg mercilessly, magically escaping on the road in a perfect regular season. The Hokies came up a quarter short in New Orleans. Now they begin another run. Game day kicks off live from Blacksburg next. Michael Vick might be beginning his last season in college ball. How will he handle the extra weight of his celebrity? Welcome to College Game Day. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Tony Barnhart, and Shelley Smith will join us in this coming hour as we're back in Blacksburg for the third time in 8 games, Coach.
Chris, they ought to change this name from Blacksburg to Vicksburg.
The Hokies, as they take the field, begin their hoped-for title run in this game to benefit the Black Coaches Association, an organization that still desperately needs a higher profile. In Division 1A, still only 6 head coaches are black. It remains an embarrassment for this sport. Before this game with Georgia Tech was made, the Kickoff Classic was courting Virginia Tech for a matchup with Michigan. Lloyd Carr wanted no part of that, not even with a healthy Drew Henson. Hokies, remember, used to be the butt of jokes. They used to be the TV network's worst nightmare. No longer. They are media darlings. At least 9 Hokie games will be televised. You realize in the last 5 years, only 8 teams have a better winning percentage. They only have 13 losses in those seasons. Frank Beamer, recognized by more than just his peers. He's got a new book. He's got a new line of shirts. He's got a couple minutes for us with Shelley Smith right now. Shelley? Game-winning field goal. Godsey was a hero. His nickname is Goose. The Goose may be cooked, though, tonight in this atmosphere. Last year, it was the Hokies that had the unproven quarterback. He's proven, I think.
He's proven. Yeah, last year at this time, if you look back at Michael Vick's career, he was a highly touted redshirt freshman preparing for James Madison. And even though he went on to have one of the best seasons in the history of college football, it took a performance and an effort in the Sugar Bowl against Florida State to really earn the respect to the entire nation.
Makes one man miss.
He breaks a tackle. Kendrick will break another tackle.
Touchdown! Touchdown, Tech! Michael Vick.
And have you ever seen anything like this?
You feel it took the Florida State game to prove to the country that, yes, I am for real?
Most people kind of said that our schedule wasn't tough enough and the teams that we played wasn't legit. But I think it brought out the best of me playing against Florida State. And, you know, I love playing against the competition. And I hope I got the respect that I deserve.
A year ago, you were starting to be known here just in Blacksburg. Forget about the country. And then a year later, you're the man. I mean, you're the front runner for the Heisman. Everybody's talking about you being the next, kind of the next generation as far as the style quarterback. How has it changed you?
It's been very different, you know, but I learned to enjoy it, you know, and I know that comes with the territory of being a quarterback. You know, I can't even walk the campus, go to class without signing an autograph, without, you know, 15 people coming up to me want autographs. You know, it's changed a lot, you know. My social life has changed, you know, a lot of things has changed, you know, but I try to take it in stride and just continue to do the things that I do. Try not to worry about the Heisman, you know, and just focus on the 2000 season. Georgia Tech is my first priority, and that's what I'm going to go out there and try to take care of them and all the rest of the football teams that we have to play.
Vick is loose.
What a play by Michael Vick.
Michael Vick.
Now it's a new year and new pressure. Everybody's going to be saying they lost Corey Moore, they lost Anthony Midget, Ike Trout, they lost really the core of that team. And now, Mike, if you don't go out and throw for 300 yards a game and run for 200, people are going to say, what's wrong with Mike? Yeah. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, a lot of thoughts just went through my head. You know, I just have to trust in my teammates and trust in my offensive line and give them a chance. You know, I don't have to do everything by myself. You know, that's what they're out there for. You know, it's not a one-man team. It's not a one-man show.
I'm sure last year as you were preparing, you had a certain hunger to go out there and show people that you were going to go out there and perform. Now all of a sudden it's a new year. Do you find yourself, do you still have that hunger inside?
I still got it, Kurt. You know, I thought about a lot of things that happened last year, and I know that it's not going to come easy for me this year, you know, so it really motivates me. Being on the front covers of magazines, you know, in books, you know, it's all changed me a lot, you know, but it makes me feel special, you know, and it makes me hungry. That's why I can't wait to step on the field so I can just get the feeling back and get back into the game, you know, and hopefully pick up where I left off.
The biggest challenge, obviously, facing Michael Vick. Will he try to live up to the hype and dealing with all the pressure that comes with the lofty expectations that he set for himself a year ago? We've all had a chance to get to know Michael Vick pretty well over the last year. My answer is no. He won't press. He won't try to do too much. He has a pretty good surrounding cast coming back from a year ago. I think he goes out. He has a way of blocking distractions. I said it earlier today. Don't forget, this guy had to deal with a month of dealing with the hype, the Heisman last year. Dealing with the hype of Florida State. He blocked it out, went out and played his best game. I think he'll go out and play well this year.
But now it's been 8 months. He says he didn't like the hype, but look at that. Superman. He is a mark. Every opponent is going to see this and going to be after him all season long. He better be poised and mature and that kind of guy. It's early, but they're already on the record as picking sides in that Big 12 showdown game in Manhattan.
Well, you know what's funny? You think back a couple years.
Michael Vick warming up, bracing for the Yellow Jackets. He has waited 8 months for this game, the first game of his sophomore season, perhaps the first game of his final season in college football. He begins the season as the Heisman frontrunner. No sophomores ever won the trophy. He is the glamour boy. This is the first game since the Sugar Bowl when he shook up the world, shook up the Seminoles' proud defense in that losing effort. You know, sometime in that third quarter, the entire nation realized they were watching a truly rare athlete. This spring he comes back. He runs 3 sub-4 340s, fastest guy on the team. Shelley Smith now profiles the new prototype for quarterbacks. Mike Vick is the 21st century man.
This is the holy grail of a quarterback. He may go! He will!
Here he comes again. Electrifying.
Athletes like him come along very seldom. You know, I was fortunate enough to recruit Bo Jackson out of high school, and, you know, I still think he's the greatest college player I've ever seen. My best way to describe Michael Vick is he is a Bo Jackson playing quarterback. He's just almost unbelievable.
I've never seen a singular person so fast or with such a strong arm, and it happens to be on one person. It's really ridiculous how unbelievably talented he is.
How often does he surprise you?
Probably about every play. So.
In what way?
I mean, just what he can do. I mean, you know, how he can, you know, move so quickly and, change directions, and, just his arm throws a great ball.
You know, there's quarterbacks that have strong arms, and there's quarterbacks that can throw it a long way, and there's quarterbacks that can put touch on it, and there's quarterbacks that can zip it. But I think one of the things that sets Michael apart myself, because he can do all those things, is how quickly he can get that ball out of there. And I think that's one of the things that really makes him special.
If you had a philosophy about the way you play the position, what would you say it would be?
I play with intelligent recklessness. You know, I go out there and, I just feel like can't nobody stop me.
It was a hard job containing the guy. You know, it's like chasing a motorcycle around.
Electrifying.
And because of that, many believe Vick has changed the role of the quarterback in college football.
Anytime you can get a guy that runs a 4.25, weighs 210 pounds, and can throw the football like a rocket, he's the prototype that you want.
In this day and age, you see the quarterback that has the ability to not only sit in the pocket and throw, but is able to elude guys and run the football for big gains. Why are teams doing that? Because of this day and age and the defensive of schemes that are now coming up and the changes that are being placed in the game. There's nobody that's responsible for the quarterback.
So if you've got a quarterback who can run, make plays in a scrambling situation, you're going to force defenses back into more conventional coverages and more conventional defenses.
He's the direction that all quarterbacks have gone. I think as you look at the NFL, the one probably intangible that is shared by almost all of the really good quarterbacks was the athleticism, the ability to make plays when things break down.
Is the way you play the position, is that the future?
Yeah, I think so. I think there'll be a lot more quarterbacks being recruited that can, do a lot of things to help their football team. Run the option, throw the deep ball, improvise, make plays.
The defensive line is so much bigger, faster, and stronger these days that sitting in that pocket is not too safe, and you need a playmaker at the quarterback position that can get out that pocket and try to get around and make something happen.
I do think people want to try to find an athlete that can play quarterback, that can throw the football, but you've got to look under a lot of rocks to find that kind of mold.
This is the holy grail of a quarterback in the next.
There are no standards with this guy this time. He's broken the mold and set a new standard for freshmen.
Michael Vick has everything. He has size, 214 pounds. He has speed. He's 4.25 in the 40. He has strength. He bench presses 350 pounds. And he plays well in big games. You guys listen to this because this is my game day yo of the week. At Florida State last year, he had 322 yards of total offense. That is better and more yards than 8 teams did against Florida State last year. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected, and Kirk, at this time in his career, I think he reminds me a lot of a young Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods.
Wow.
The guy's sensational.
Yeah, he is very poised. He has a certain presence about him. You know, we talked a lot about Michael Vick, but how do you stop him? I think Chris Wanke and Gary Barnett are exactly right. Today's day and age in college football, defense is putting a lot of pressure on offenses. Offensive coordinators are turning to the quarterback who can run and throw. So now defenses, it's their turn to make a move. Watch one of the ways tonight you might see it. Defenses can use a spy to kind of follow that quarterback everywhere he goes. This is last year against Michael Vick. Clemson, Keith Adams, an All-American. Watch him kind of hang in the middle here with Michael Vick and read his eyes and follow him. Michael Vick tries a scramble, and Keith Adams is right there athletically to make the play. You don't rely on a defensive lineman to have to do that. You rely on an athlete such as a Keith Adams. Now, we always talk about college football, and we talk about football in general kind of being a chess match. You make a move over here, the other side's going to make a move. Well, you try as much as you can to stop an athletic quarterback, but if he has poise and he has the ability to sit in the pocket, it's virtually impossible to stop a quarterback like Michael Vick.
I've heard all these plans. I think Georgia Tech believes their best hope is that Vick stops himself. That he tries to do too much, that he buys into all the hype and believes that he has to make a great play every time, and that might lead to mistakes, but you think that's not going to happen. Nope. Don't worry about that.
Keep the ball away from him.
Against that defense?
Yeah.
We'll come back. We'll talk more about...
Virginia Tech wins and scores 45 points.
Mr. Corso already on record, having predicted 45 points from the Hokies. We are
away. Frank Beamer. He won 8 National Coach of the Year awards last year, and I'm afraid to report right now we have heavy, heavy lightning and thunder around the stadium as we prepare to kick this one off. And both teams, it appears, are being sent to the locker room. And the officiating crew blows the whistle and says we do not want to take a chance. Dan Blum is the referee tonight. Well, if you've just joined us, you're looking at shots just to the south and the southeast of the stadium, and the lightning is severe. And we applaud the officials in their very quick taking of control of this situation of the BCA.